Let's join the MLB Network. Thoughts on Manny Ramirez, one of the greatest home run hitters of all time, that just signed with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Let's join Matt Viskurgeon and the rest of the crew at MLB.
He thinks it's a home run. Look at this. He thinks it's a home run. He thinks the ball went out.
From 1996 to 2000, Ramirez established his credentials for the Hall of Fame, driving in 145 runs in 1998 and 165 in '99. In doing so, Manny became the first major leaguer with 160 RBIs in a season in 61 years.
Oh, Manny! Look at the smile.
After the 2000 season, Ramirez was a 28-year-old free agent, without question one of the most sought-after players on the market. On December 19th of 2000, he signed an 8-year, $160 million contract with the Boston Red Sox.
It was like a roller coaster for me, but I'm going to have a better chance to win the ring, win everything. That's why I made my decision to come to Boston.
In 2003, the Red Sox clinched the AL wild card. After losing the first 2 games of the ALDS, the Sox climbed back to tie the series at 2. And in the decisive Game 5, Manny delivered the knockout punch.
And Manny lifts one into deep left center field. Guillen back at the wall. Goodbye.
Next up was Manny's childhood team-turned-bitter rival, the New York Yankees. The bad blood in the Yankee-Red Sox rivalry had been revitalized in recent years, and tempers boiled over in the 4th inning of Game 3 with Ramirez playing the part of catalyst.
And look at Ramirez. There he goes. That's enough. He's still got the bat in his hand. He wants him. And everybody's out.
4 games later, Manny and the Red Sox went home in dramatic fashion.
And the Yankees are going to the World Series. Aaron Boone has hit a home run.
The 2003 offseason would prove to be just as forgettable for Ramirez. He was placed on irrevocable waivers and nearly dealt to the Texas Rangers for reigning AL MVP Alex Rodriguez. Undaunted, Manny had one of his best seasons in a Boston uniform, hitting .308 with 43 home runs and 130 RBIs. Ramirez propelled the Red Sox into the playoffs, setting up a rematch with the Yankees in the ALCS. Manny helped fuel the Sox' historic comeback, hitting .333 in games 4 through 7 as Boston rolled into the World Series. Manny went from good in the ALCS to great in the Fall Classic. He hit .412 with a home run and 4 runs batted in, winning the series MVP award
Back to full.
as the Sox swept the Cardinals for their first World Series in 86 years.
Red Sox fans have longed to hear it. The Boston Red Sox are world champions.
Throughout the 2005 and 2006 seasons, Ramirez flip-flopped between loving the Red Sox and requesting a trade out of town. Throughout all of it, Manny remained in Boston. In 2007, Manny's production started to fall off and the injuries started to mount. But despite the down season, Manny is always a threat come October. The Red Sox rolled past the Angels and stormed into the ALCS to face the Indians. But headline-grabbing comments.
I'm just going to go play the game like I said and move on. If it doesn't happen, so who cares? He's always next year. It's not like the end of the world. So.
And questionable base running on a national stage cemented Manny's legacy as a superstar with plenty of baggage.
Here we go again. If Manny Ramirez would play a little harder, he wouldn't be at first. No, he'd be at second base.
Despite the harsh criticism, Manny led the Red Sox to another dramatic ALCS comeback and a second World Series title in 4 seasons.
Game over, series over, and the Red Sox are world champs again.
Manny actually reported early for the 2008 season. It would be a precursor of unusual actions for Ramirez that season. He had his highs.
Welcome to the 500 Club, Manny Ramirez.
His lows.
Duclos and Ramirez are fighting in the dugout.
And his high fives. However, Manny's off-the-field antics were quickly overshadowing his play. And after 3 years of trade demands and erratic behavior, the Red Sox front office had finally had enough. Even with a new team, in a new league, and wearing a new number, Manny proved that not much had changed.
and the crowd wants him to take a curtain call. Up the steps he comes, and he salutes the crowd right back.
Ramirez dominated National League pitching, hitting an incredible .396 with 17 home runs and 53 runs batted in just 53 games with the Dodgers. No stranger to the postseason, Manny hit an even .500 against the Cubs in the division series, highlighted by a home run only he could hit.
This one is well up into the bleachers. Home run for Manny Ramirez.
Look where that ball is. It's almost on the ground.
It's like a shoot-top home run.
Ramirez and the Dodgers swept Chicago and headed to Philadelphia for the NLCS.
There's a shot into center field. Manny Ramirez is just unbelievable.
But despite Manny's .533 average and 7 runs batted in, the Phillies knocked LA out of the playoffs in 5 games. With the season now complete, the Dodgers dropped the 2 remaining option years on his contract, and Manny, with 1,725 runs batted in,
Well, folks, I guess that's the end. Well, Manny Ramirez is one of the greatest baseball players of all time, no doubt about it. He will be a Hall of Famer someday, but he's one of the most controversial baseball players you will ever meet. Well, for one, a special thanks to Major League Baseball and MLB Network, Matt Viskurgeon, and everybody. This is the one and only Mark Spencer for MLB Review. This is pretty educational, and I love doing it, folks. You all take care, and we'll see you in the future.